Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the GOAT, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she's taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the podcast where two sexy black nerds or snurds get together and shoot the shit. I, of course, am Maurice, Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 123 of the Black and Snurdy podcast. How are you doing today?
I was going to ask you how you were doing today.
Okay. I mean, you can ask, but I've already asked you first.
How are you doing today?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm waiting for you to answer my question.
I'm doing good. It's been a pretty fun day. Went to go see the Liberty against the Lynx.
Shout out to the Liberty.
Which one did you go? Unfortunately, we did not prevail. But both teams played really, really well. And it was the packed out Barclays, which is great. I love seeing everyone supporting the WNBA the way they should have been supporting them for years and years now. But it's good that they're at least getting the recognition now. The new generation of players are getting the notoriety and fame, etc., that they deserve.
Yeah, it's good. I'll probably never go back to the Atlantic Barclays unless I have different seating.
Seats.
Yeah.
When you're sitting lower, because they have season pass, so we were in section 1, row 8. So that's like a few. You could really see the floor. So it's definitely not as steep. It doesn't feel like you're climbing up a mountain.
Gotcha. Okay. Those sounds like some good seats.
Those are really good seats. I hope that they can get a season pass for next year. I know the price is going up.
Hope you didn't or did?
No, I hope they can get one for next year because I know the price is going up. So we'll see about for the next season. But it's great that the price is going up in some ways because that means more people are going and
there's more of a renewed interest in the sport.
Yeah, so hopefully it stays that way because they go really hard. They do really well. I think that I would love to be able to have just an ounce of their athleticism. But no, they did great. So shout out to y'all, Liberty.
And to answer your question, I'm doing just fine. Another week of work. Hopefully this week is better than last week, less stressful. I have a project that is being turned in tomorrow. Turned in first for review and then for dissemination. And hopefully I'll be done with that until another 3 weeks from now when I have to do it all over again.
But at least you'll have to practice now so that when you do it next time, it's less daunting.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Shall we take it down a quick notch and pay some respects?
Yeah.
This is, hold on. We're gonna, pay our respects in our RIP corner. Here we go.
Well, unfortunately, we have quite a long list this week. First, we are paying homage to 4 little girls who passed away in 1963 during the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know if you've ever saw the Spike Lee documentary that he made about them in the 90s.
No.
But it was 4 little girls, 14-year-old Adam Mae Collins, 11-year-old Denise McNair, 14-year-old Carol Robinson, and 14-year-old Cynthia Wesley were killed in the basement of the church after a bomb went off a little after 11 o'clock. There was another little girl, 12-year-old Sarah Collins Rudolph, who survived but sustained several injuries, including the loss of the eye, and I believe 20 other people who were also injured. Today they had a 61st commemoration that honored the victims at the church. They laid a wreath. And I mean, I've known about this story for so long. I mean, as long as I can remember, because I remember watching that documentary when I don't even know if I was even 10 or 11 when it came out. And it's just, a reminder of what the people before us were going through, and the things sometimes that we're still going through now, and the way that racial hatred will just create such terrible situations. So when it happened, there were the suspects they had were Robert E. Chambliss, Bob Frank Cherry, Herman Frank Cash, and Thomas E. Blanton, who were all KKK members. At the time, people were obviously scared for their lives, and they were not really interested in talking. But Chambliss received life in prison in 1977 following a case led by Alabama Attorney General Robert Blakesley. And then in the 90s, they reopened the case, and Blanton and Cherry were indicted in May 2000. Unfortunately, Herman Frank Cash had died before they were able to try him. Mm-hmm. But we are sending, of course, our love to their family and that community that are still, dealing with that today. And we just thank you for keeping their memory alive and not allowing us to forget. Because do you have a picture of the?
I already showed the picture.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
To keep their memory alive, and thank you to their memory. Next, there's ballerina Michaela Mabinti DePrince, who was 29 years old, passed away this week. She was a refugee from Sierra Leone, and she had been, I believe, sorry, I'm just looking at the obituary. She was from Sierra Leone, and then she was adopted in the States by a family when she was much younger, after being in an orphanage for quite some time. Unfortunately, her mother had died of malnutrition, and there was no one else to help her. So she was adopted by a family in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Elena DePrince and her husband, Charles DePrince. And she was just an amazing ballerina who had overcome so many odds. And I believe I sent you a video that Misty Copeland put up after her death, which she had included her in her biography that came out a few years ago. Do you want to play that?
Sure.
This is my story. It is one of suffering, heartache, and loss. It is also one of love, joy, and daring to dream. I am here today to tell you that good could arrive all dirty and dusty, or on the back page of a newspaper. You might find it in the wind, or even on your kitchen table. Take note of the simple things that touch you in life, because one of these simple things might very well be the thing that has the greatest impact, the simple things that can change your life. And dare to dream. No matter what circumstances you are under, no matter how poor or how sad you are at any given moment, don't be afraid of living and loving. Believe.
Well, we thank you, Michaela, for bringing so much joy and beauty to the world and sharing your gifts with us. The family has not said what the cause of death was, but I know that she will be greatly missed by the ballerina community, her family and friends. And we just thank you for sharing your story with us. Next, genealogist Francine Taylor passed away actually a few weeks ago. It was announced, but it just started, making the rounds on in the news. She was a archivist who worked to preserve the history of Black Americans at Alabama State University. She spent decades there sifting through documents where humans are only identified by numbers, names are misspelled, and racially segregated records left holes in family trees. Before she passed in July, Taylor hoped to impart on young people the importance of knowing your family history, saying self-worth, that's important. I can sit here and tell you about my family all the way down to some parts of slavery. I feel proud of that. The undertaking of documenting Black people throughout the transatlantic slave trade to now is very difficult. There's a lot of work and research that goes into that, and not many people have done it, and definitely not many Black people have been able to have the resources to do it. So we just thank you for that work you've done in repairing the holes in people's family trees, and I know that your family and your community are so proud of the legacy that you left over, and I hope that we would all be able to add something to the culture as significant as you did. So rest in peace, Miss Francine. And this week we were all completely shattered when we heard that actor James Earl Jones passed away at 93. It was confirmed with his family. He passed away at home, surrounded by his family. I don't know. There's not much you can't say about James Earl Jones.
Mufasa,
the
voice of Darth Vader.
He won
Coming to America,
of course. The Great White Hope, Fences.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He was just, an amazing actor, and I'm sure opened up so many doors for more young Black actors to be able to get the recognition that they deserved. And he was just, I think his voice is synonymous with our childhood and adulthood, he's been around our whole life. So thank you for giving us something to look forward to, for bringing that grace to the staged film, TV. He actually did Reading Rainbow when I was watching the documentary that they did on that.
Oh my God.
Aria, come on.
Ridiculous.
I was watching the documentary for Reading Rainbow, and LeVar Burton was just talking about how they were looking for people and actors to come, and he was so excited, and he brought so much respect to what he was doing, even though it was for public access television. It wasn't like he was getting paid so much to do this, but he took his work very seriously, and he will be very missed. I don't know how we're going to be able to, this next generation of children is going to have him in the movies and shows and things that he was in throughout the years, but it's going to be weird not hearing his voice again in real time. So
if they're going to do more Star Wars stuff with Darth Vader, it's going to be hard to replace him, because he is the quintessential voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah. Now
there's an iconography that goes along with that character, and he is a part of that. So
I hope they don't try to bring it back with AI or something, because that would just be weird. But thank you, James Earl Jones, for being the voice of our lives. And next we have Javion McGee. Now, he is not a celebrity or famous in any way, but when I saw this story, I felt like we needed to talk about him. He is from Henderson. Well, he was a Chicagoland truck driver, and his family said that, content warning, that he was found hanging from a tree in Henderson, North Carolina. He was there dropping off a load at the local Walmart Supercenter on September 10th. And then he returned to Walmart the next day to bring more items. And the police are saying that allegedly, when he went to that Walmart, he bought items, including a rope, and that this was possibly him unaliving himself. However, the family said their lawyer said this in a statement: "How can you say that it was him unaliving himself? We have not even had an autopsy report. We haven't had a full investigation. Now that all this is out and we're amplifying this issue, now all of a sudden the sheriff has put out a statement and isn't saying that it is him unaliving himself. Now he's saying, if anyone knows anything, to reach out to the Crime Stoppers hotline. We're not going to play this game, sir." So I read this article on The Tribe out of Chicago, and I really hope that they look into this and investigate it as fully as possible. This reminds me of a case that was in, I think it was California a few years ago, where a teenager was found dead and rolled up in a mat at his high school. And the police also tried to say it was self-inflicted, and the family has been trying to get an investigation for that for years. And I hope that his family does not have the same issue. And we just wish that Javion gets justice and that his family gets peace and is able to learn what happened to him so that they can, move on with their lives. But, another young person unfortunately gone too soon under not great circumstances. And lastly, but not least, legendary R&B singer Frankie Beverly passed away this week at 77. His family put out a statement: "Grieving the loss of a loved one is deeply personal and emotional experience. During this time, as we are navigating feelings of sorrow, reflection, and remembrance, we kindly ask for privacy and understanding, allowing us the space to grieve in our own way. This period is one of healing, and your respect for our need for solitude is appreciated as we honor the memory of our beloved Howard Stanley Beverly, known to the world as Frankie Beverly. He lived his life with pure soul, as one would say, and for us, no one did it better. He lived for his music, family, and friends. Loved one another as he would want that for all of us." The Beverly family. And this week at one of his concerts, Usher paid homage to him by singing one of his songs.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for everything that you added to our world, and you will be sorely missed.
Agreed.
Are you ready to jump into the shenanigans?
Yes. Let us slide over to Pop Topics.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop Topics.
All right, where do you want to start?
I mean, okay. This has been, we've had, it's only the 15th of September, and we've already had so many shenanigans. I'm just going to, somebody on Twitter, Bodis Barbe, put together a list of just some of the shenanigans that have happened since the beginning of September. We're going to talk about a few of them, but I feel like we just should, a quick little recap. Fat Man Scoop passed away. The Super Bowl halftime announcement fiasco. Rich Homie Quan passed away. Nicki's coke-filled rant about the Super Bowl halftime announcement.
Yep.
Beyonce being snubbed by the CMAs, gotten 0 nominations. James Earl Jones passed. The presidential debate, which we will talk about, shenanigans. Diddy sued again, shenanigans. Frankie Beverly passed away. And Shannon Sharp and his tryst.
His activities.
Going live on Instagram.
His online activities.
It's just been some shenanigans. Now, it pains me to even do this, really. But I don't think that it is fair for us to talk about someone's greatness while also talking about their missteps. And this video has been, I think I saw it a while ago, but after James Earl Jones passed, there were several videos, both past and present, that came out with him having very interesting beliefs and things to say about black women. So please play it. And
Jim, do black men marry white women because of the nature of black women? I know in some of our earlier conversations you mentioned that the black women you've met have been uptight. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'll answer the one question, what do I mean by uptight? Going toward a more militant attitude about their own identity. And in many ways are way ahead of the black man, because I don't know why, but in many ways are replacing the black man. There's a whole, there's an almost unfeminine aspect of the black militant woman.
Do you find that some black women you've known, out of your personal experience, blame the black man for what happened to them in slavery, even today?
Of course. You know, if the black man, regardless of the causes, failed to protect her, left her in a position where she had to sell herself or bargain with her body and so on. Yes, you know, she had there's a resentment about that, but it's very complex now. You see, I think in another generation you'll get a whole crop uptight about their position in society. There are many, because I'm generalizing now, many are overreacting against Aunt Jemima, the Aunt Jemima image, the submissive Mother Earth type, unselfish, all-giving, especially all-giving to the white man, sexually and in the kitchen and every other way. And she's also overreacting against the problem of having to be the breadwinner, the matriarch of the house, the myth of the black.
what are your thoughts?
I feel like this was this is of its time.
But
I
he
feel
said
like
something about that. He said there was a more recent video from maybe, I don't know, the 90s or 2000s where he said something very similar.
Oh, well.
His views didn't change. I watched a few of them, and they were all pretty much the same thing, that black women were the reason why this these racial issues were still happening, and it was pretty sad to see. I mean, he's an iconic actor, but also just because you are an iconic actor doesn't mean that you also didn't have shitty views about things and people, even your own people. I mean, misogynoir is not new. So it's just one of those things I feel like we have to acknowledge about the people that we have as icons and acknowledge their, what is the word?
Flaws?
Yes, acknowledge their flaws and in hopes of not recreating them.
Right. Okay.
So if y'all have been living under a rock, maybe you were not aware that Shannon Sharpe was having relations with a consenting adult woman this week, and somehow the audio, he went live on Instagram Live.
Yes.
And the audio was shared. So we're not gonna. I did not give you the audio.
No,
to
you
share
didn't, and I would not have played the audio
because it was.
It's graphic.
It's graphic. You couldn't see anything. It was just like.
It was just noises.
It was just noises, and at first I was listening to it and I was like, "What's happening?" But then I heard
Isn't there an R&B song called "Sex Noises" or something like that?
I know "Love Faces" by that guy.
Oh no! I guess maybe that was what I was thinking. There's probably a song called "Sex Noises."
Sex Noises. Well, Shannon Sharpe initially, when this happened, a tweet came out probably from his team that said, "Beware, my Shannon Sharpe 84 Instagram was hacked this morning. My team and I are working vigorously to figure this out." And then a few hours later, he put out a response video. Not that you put in sextant.
Yeah, it was a sexsident.
It was a sextant. Okay, play the bean footage.
I'm disappointed in myself. I let them call them. I called my sister. My friends reached out. But God, sister, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed, gazed in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie Fritz, who's been my longtime marketing guy, he finally got through to me and he said, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, you know, I say ask for patience. He said that. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. And obviously, the good soldier that he is, Jordan, the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. Jordan cut it off. Jordan put the message up. And then after I called my agent, the agency, I called ESPN after I just got this good, tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being a healthy, active male.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either.
This is the thing. If anybody has used
Instagram Live, like
there's steps.
Yeah, you have to put a title on it.
Title, you gotta say
you have to say if it's gonna be public or private. Like he would have had to do so many things. There is no accidental Instagram Live.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps She decided to put it live, maybe, but he said he threw his phone on the ground. So I don't know. But it's funny because, of course, the internet went wild,
just like a wildfire.
Of course. And Cameron decided to jump into the fray, as he is wont to do in his trolling ways. Mm-hmm. Did I send you that video?
No, you just sent me the article.
Oh, okay. Well, Cameron decided to do a parody video of him, like he's in the car and he's like sitting in the front seat and he's like driving and he's telling this woman to get on top while I drive. And then like he's making noises and talking about, oh, don't use your teeth and all this stuff. And then he's like looking back, he's like looking down at the phone in the back, talking about, oh shit, my phone's on, I'm on live, let me turn this shit off. Which was, ridiculous and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
But what's even more ridiculous is Shannon Sharp has decided he is going to capitalize on this scandal, and he is releasing, according to the interwebs, he's putting out shirts that say that's my Michelle. And I'm just curious, like, did you talk to Michelle Obama about this? Did she say that's okay? Like, she needs to put out a cease and desist on you yesterday, because that's just weird. It's gross. Because I didn't even hear him saying, oh, that's my Michelle.
I heard him say it.
I heard the girl saying something like Shannon or something like that.
I heard that's my Michelle. You didn't hear that gruff ass? That's my Michelle.
I heard him talking her through it. I didn't realize that's what he was saying.
Oh, that's my Michelle.
It just was gross. There's nothing wrong with
it. It'd be fun. It's fun. In my mind, it's funnier now thinking that maybe her name wasn't actually Michelle, and he was probably just being like, I'm Obama, you're Michelle. I'm Obama. They're both Obama, but like I'm Barack and you're Michelle.
No, I don't. Sounds very Jonathan Majors-esque. Like we should just leave
that's my
it alone.
That's my Coretta. Oh, do you think Jonathan Majors says that? That's my Coretta.
Oh God, gross. The whole thing is ridiculous, and honestly, like, Shannon, you are a grown man. You are an adult. You don't have to prove your manhood. I don't know if this is about folks who are constantly.
It's good publicity for his show.
Oh yeah, for sure it is, and
it's a very interesting way of marketing. I will give him that.
I'm curious if this was a ploy to get people off his back, because people will be like, oh, he's gay and all this stuff, and like questioning his manhood. Is this a way of him like, no guys, see, like I'm fucking a woman, and it just, I don't know. The whole thing is stupid.
Oh, most definitely this was. It was a means of just like, now there's no question. Well, I mean,
that's first of all, you having sex with a woman means nothing. You could still enjoy having sex with men.
Yeah.
Like, bisexuals exist. Sexuality is fluid.
Now I listened to this and I heard like the moaning and the groaning and everything like that. I didn't necessarily hear the macaroni in the pot. So who's to say if this was actually them having sex?
Maybe they were just, I mean, who knows?
Because you hear those creases.
Yeah. Creases. Ew, stop it. Stop that.
ASMR.
No ASMR. Stop it. Please stop it. I'm cutting all of this out. Ew.
I'm not. But yeah, that gave me a little bit of a bright spot in an otherwise weary week. It was pretty funny.
It was funny. I just, please, folks, check your phones. Put your phones away. Put them on the charger. You shouldn't even have them during that time. Like,
Yeah. No
we-
phones in the bed.
room.
No phones in the bed. I know that I don't practice what I preach, but I would like to believe that one day I could get to a point where when I'm not living in a small ass
What does living in a small apartment have to do with you using your phone?
because I would if I lived in a bigger apartment, then my phone would be on the nightstand where it is out of reach.
I don't believe you.
I believe me, and that's all that matters.
All right. Well, hey. We all lie to ourselves sometimes. And speaking of liars,
You just said that so that you could use it as a segue.
what did you think about the debate this week?
Yes, the presidential debate. So I had to watch clips. I was actually working during the actual debate, so I had to watch clips afterwards. Obviously, the ridiculousness that comes out of this man's mouth. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the pets in Springfield.
I mean, there's nothing about this debate that made any sense. Obviously,
I think she stood strong.
of course she did. She's qualified.
Yeah.
He's unqualified. So really, he could have been debating a dung
It's
beetle.
so weird how somebody who's already done the job is even less qualified than their opponent.
Because they kept asking him, like, okay, so, like, well, what would you do? And he kept coming up. Every time they would ask him, like, okay, so what is your plan? I have a concept of a plan. What the fuck does that mean?
Concept of a
You were
plan.
already in the role. That means you should already, like, 4 years goes by pretty quickly. Most things are not changing that much in government in 4 years.
Well, when your brain is mush and
Yeah.
turning into jelly, like,
Yeah, well.
all you can do is grasp onto concepts. And the only concept that he cares about is how many people are at his rallies as opposed to her.
Which is still stupid because he pays people to be at his rallies. He tried to say, oh, you're paying people, but we've seen the invoices, the people saying that they are paid. So it's stupid.
I mean, would you go to a rally if they gave you a hefty
How
sum?
much? What's the hefty sum?
That's a good question. Let's say 10,000.
And now, am I just going to the rally? Do I have to speak to the news?
No, but you would be
Filler.
filler. Like, you know how, like, they sprinkle in a couple blacks behind him when he's at the podium?
I wouldn't
to
be
show
behind
that-
him, but I would be in the crowd so they could see brown faces. So I could leave right after my allotted time.
If you give me 20,000, I will be standing right behind him. But I won't. But you'd have to give me another 20,000 to actually clap. Like, otherwise, for the first 20,000, I'm just there with my hands crossed, and I'm just like, yeah, this is I'm here. I'm watching this. I'm fulfilling my obligation.
Well,
But 40,000, I'll be like, yeah. Not even saying any words or anything like that.
clapping?
Like, just clapping, like, yeah! Just generic, yeah, clapping.
Well, during the debate, he said many of the same things he has said throughout his campaign and throughout his presidency. He was talking about African-American jobs, talking about Kamala letting in all of these immigrants who are murdering people and eating pets, which was a lie. Of course, blaming all of the inflation on Kamala and Biden and just, continuing to spew lies. But the problem with Trump is that it's not that, like, his lies, of course, are ridiculous. But then it emboldens people who are already looking for a reason to hate, to go out and harass folks. I was reading in the Springfield News-Sun that the Springfield City School District closed the Roosevelt Middle School and evacuated Perrin Woods and Snow Hill elementary schools on Friday morning after they received 2 bomb threats via email. And the city said that the email was sent at 7:21. It targeted several city commissioners and a city employee. In response to these threats, local and regional law enforcement, along with our public safety partners, have acted promptly. We are committed to the safety and well-being of our community and take all threats to public safety with the utmost seriousness. And the Ohio Governor, Mike DeWine, said that the claims against Haitian immigrants are garbage, which, of course, we know that's true. Regardless of J.D. Vance's continued push to get these rumors out, the way that it even started was this woman put out a post on Facebook that said, like, a friend's daughter lost her cat and she was looking for it, and there she saw some Haitians in a yard killing it and getting ready to eat it. It, of course, went extremely viral. She eventually recanted it and didn't realize it's going to go that far. But the governor, DeWine, said there's a lot of garbage on the internet. This is a piece of garbage that was simply not true. There's no evidence of this at all. And that it was just, he wants to have these hateful claims to be, removed. And that the Haitians are hardworking people who have brought positive influences to the town. Hate groups coming into Springfield, we don't need these hate groups. I saw a piece of literature yesterday that the mayor told me about from purportedly the KKK. Springfield is a good city. They are good people. They are welcoming people. We have challenges every day. We're working on those challenges. Haitians are culturally, my wife Fran and I have seen this when we've been down in Haiti. Education is prized. So when you look at all these things, people who want to work, people who value their kids, who value education, these are positive influences on our community in Springfield. And any comment about that otherwise, I think is hurtful and is not helpful to the city of Springfield and the people of Springfield. Which, yes, is very true. There's no
absolutely true.
He'll pick first it was Mexicans, then it was the Chinese.
Yeah.
Now
then it was Middle Eastern.
Of course, Muslim people, Arabs. Now it is Haitians. He is just picking people who are the least supported and most villainized, and continuing to throw dirt on their name. And I've been reading reports of just, Haitian parents keeping their children home from school due to bullying, fear of threats, etc. And it's just disgusting, but I wouldn't expect anything more from him and J.D. Vance. And they would purposely put anyone in front of a target to get it off their own backs. And, well, speaking of targets, Donald Trump had another alleged attempted assassination today, which is, who cares? But they said that they were in Florida at his golf club in West Palm Beach. The U.S. Secret Service agents stationed a few holes up from where Trump was playing noticed the muzzle of an AK-style rifle sticking from the shrubbery that lines the course roughly 400 miles away. There were 2 backpacks, a scope used for aiming, and a GoPro camera. The man's name was a white man who I believe is 58.
I have it up right here.
Oh, you have his name up?
That tweet.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Wesley Ruth. They're alleging he had mental health issues.
Or Ralph, I think.
Ralph? No, Ralph.
Because, mouth.
Yeah, Ralph. And the tweet says, Ryan Wesley Ralph, the alleged shooter in today's incident against Trump, is a 60-year-old white man with a history of mental illness. He appears to have voted for Trump in 2016, and his Facebook page has COVID conspiracies on it. He is not an immigrant, nor is he Haitian. Which, surprise, surprise, I can't help but wonder if this is not just more, more fodder for Trump to try to get elected. I wouldn't be surprised if he paid this man to do this so that he could have more fuel to his fire about the Democrats trying to kill him.
Which doesn't make sense because this guy, if you go on his socials and stuff, he's an avid Trump guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it would make more sense if you paid a like low level Democrat person to like try to assassinate you or something like that. It doesn't the optics don't look great if one of your own constituents tries to take you out.
Which is the second one, because the other guy was also allegedly a registered Republican, and voted for Trump.
Yeah.
The AP says that Ruth lived in North Carolina for most of his life before moving to Hawaii in 2018. In 2020, he made a social post backing Trump's re-election, but in more recent years, his posts have expressed support for Biden and Harris. Ruth tried to recruit Afghan soldiers fleeing the Taliban to fight in Ukraine and spent several months in the country, which is interesting. But, you know, this is what's going to be happening. I'm sure more of as the election gets closer and closer, they're going to try to do any and everything that they can to get folks to vote for him, regardless of how truthful it is, because that's just what he does. He's a liar.
Regardless of everything, this is going to be an interesting presidential election cycle. Like, it's already been interesting,
Yeah.
and she's been wanting. You heard that she wants another debate.
Again, I read that allegedly he's saying he's not going to do another one with her, but you know, who knows? He doesn't want to get his face mopped across the ground as he did last time. So
Yeah,
you know, we'll see. Honestly, though,
it would just make more sense for him to just continue to do his little rallies, go and do it that way, as opposed to like try to go one, because he can't go one-on-one with her.
It doesn't matter though how good or bad he does in these debates. People are still going to vote for him. They do not care about what he says. They know he's a liar. They know he's an idiot. They know he has no business being in office, but they will vote for him because these are one-issue voters. Whatever their one issue is that he is going to exploit, they're going to vote for him for that. They don't care if the whole country burns up with them, because they feel like they're going to somehow be, what is the word? Saved from his treachery when he's not. Like,
you heard that South Park is skipping this year and not coming back this year. They're coming back in 2025 because they don't want to deal with the election.
I'm not surprised, and I don't blame him.
I honestly don't want to deal with the election.
Nobody
either.
does.
Nobody does.
If we can fast forward,
it's a miserable process right now. I mean, obviously, I'm with her. You know, but like
It's
just the whole election process in the run up to it, it's all this like fucking ridiculousness with this one dude. I don't even like saying his name.
The thing is, unfortunately for me, like, I wish that I could be so excited about voting for Harris. Of course, I'm going to, because I'm not going to vote for him, and I don't want to leave it up to chance, not with New York going blue or whatever, just because it's like, what else are we supposed to do? But I hate having these constantly, it is lesser of two evils when both parties are still evil. Like, the debate was like, she did a great job, but her answers on Palestine, didn't like them. Her answers about immigration and what she's going to do, didn't like those either. There are plenty of things that I'm like, I do not agree with, but unfortunately we are backed into a corner where we can choose someone who is qualified to run the country and is going to make probably better decisions overall, but still being charged with genocide. Like, we cannot move past that simple fact, and it's really unfortunate because I know there are probably plenty of people who feel like they're not going to vote for her simply for her handling and how she's handled Palestine. how the administration has handled Palestine and what she's saying moving forward. Logically, I know that she can't, even if she is anti-Zionism and against what Israel's doing, she can't even say that, because if she does, the super PACs are going to remove all the money and she won't get elected and we'll just be stuck with Trump. But it's like we're between a rock and a hard place.
Yes.
Because there's actually...
We're always between a rock and a hard
place.
And I've read a scary tweet that said that he'll probably, even if he loses, he'll probably just run again.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
He'll just keep running until he wins.
I mean, unless he... I know that they pushed his trial date for, I believe it was the voter suppression or like maybe it was insurrection, I forget. But they pushed it till after the election, which is insane. The fact that he's even allowed to run is crazy. I don't know what he needs to do to stop that from happening. But they're just never going to do that. And anytime we get a candidate who would be even halfway decent, they're not going to be running because the Democratic Party is not going to back them.
Yeah.
And people are not going to vote third party.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's not enough. Like, most people are not going to vote third party. And it's frustrating. Being an American is really frustrating. Because I would love to be, like, as excited for this election, to vote for Kamala, to have a black woman, Howard grad, in the office is... Like, that's amazing. Like, I'm so excited to be like, oh, wow, look at that. Look at what we have. But then also, like, I'm still seeing babies dying on my timeline. And we're still sending them lots of money and lots of resources to continue murdering children with reckless abandon. So I can't feel the joy that I would have otherwise for there being a black woman in office. So it's just like, here we go until we get, like, I don't even know what has to happen for us to be able to get candidates that are actually going to do something that is not just about their best interest. But, here we are.
What can you do?
Are you ready to
Sure. Let's go into it.
All right.
Let me get into it. Here we go.
So we have talked about Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy Combs on here quite a lot. He now has more allegations and judgments against him. A Michigan inmate was awarded $100 million default judgment against him. His name, Derek Lee Cardelio Smith, 51, says that he allegedly drugged and SA'd him in 1997 at a party in Detroit. Cardello Smith said he crossed paths with Diddy while working at a Detroit area restaurant as a hospitality industry employee. He is a self-taught student of civil and criminal statutes and is serving an unrelated sentence at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility in Muskegon Heights. So it says that Combs' name logged into the visitation record, saying the founder of Bad Boys offered him $2.3 million to dismiss the lawsuit, but he rejected it. And on August 7th, the order was established to prevent Combs from selling assets that could potentially be used to compensate Cardello Smith for possible damages amidst a mounting number of recent plaintiffs against Combs. This is honestly, it's not surprising. On top of that, former Danny Kaye member Dawn Richard is suing Diddy for abuse and assault. She said she also witnessed him beat Cassie and abuse Kim Porter, his ex-girlfriend and mother of his children. In the suit, it says, Dawn Richards says She got caught in Diddy's web as a participant on his 2004 MTV show Making the Bad, with Bad Boy CEO manipulating her by promising to advance her singing career if she relented to his alleged twisted demands. She says that in 2005, she saw Kim Porter crying as she left a music studio with her face all banged up. And that's when she realized Diddy was capable of violence and could put her life in danger. And then a year later, she was present when Diddy introduced her to Cassie, that he was invading her space while transfixed on her in a predatory fashion. In 2009, she says she personally witnessed him high on drugs, throw Cassie against a wall, choke her, and drag her up a flight of stairs in his LA home. He hurled a scalding pan of eggs at Cassie, yelling, "I've been asking you for my shit. I can't stand you, bitch. You never do it right." And that he also punched her and wrapped his hands around her throat when Cassie was attempting to strangle Cassie inside his LA mansion. And just continuous, the documents were really terrible.
Horrifying.
It's alleged that other people saw these things happening. Some documents mentioned Usher and Neo possibly being at a dinner and seeing Cassie get beat, and then like no one did anything. They just kind of continued eating. And people were getting on Usher for like, why wouldn't he have stopped it? But I think that most people don't realize that Usher is also a victim of Diddy.
Yeah.
I read that Usher's mother actually like got him from Diddy to be and became his manager to keep him away and to try to protect him. And Usher has talked about in interviews the type of environment he was in while working with Diddy, how he was exposed to these very adult parties as young as 14, and introduced to different, sexual things at that age. So we don't know what he has seen, what he's dealt with, and we can't really blame a victim for not confronting their abuser when we think they should. I think that it's just really sad, and I hope that he gets put under the jail. Like it's at this point, and $100 million is a lot of money. Does he even have that at this point? I mean, he probably.
I'm sure he does.
But if he can't sell up assets, because he sold off Revolt.
Yeah.
He sold off, I think, his shares in whatever that in
his drinks. Yeah.
So I'm curious about what else he has to.
What was Diddy's drink?
Ciroc.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's getting what's coming to him at this point, and hopefully all abusers will get their comeuppance.
Yeah, the downfall of Diddy has been just something to watch.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to monitor it as it continues to unfold.
But, fuck you, Diddy.
Did you see what I had up here for Diddy?
No, I did not.
I had, because that was the name of his album.
It was. What album was that?
The Saga Continues. That was the Bad Boy album. We ain't going nowhere.
Oh,
well,
that's out.
No, he is going somewhere. And hopefully that somewhere is a jail. Yeah.
All right, so to better news and people who are not terrible, there is a new writer joining SNL for season 15.
Folks, where's the lie?
Super excited that Carl Tart of the Grand Crew, which R.I.P. Grand Crew, that was such a great show.
It was a really good show. In addition to that, he's also been like a recurring character on Comedy Bang Bang.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
On a lot of the various episodes, like he. His O.J. Simpson is incredibly hilarious. You take care. Like it's the way that he does him is extremely funny. Also the Chief from Where's Carmen Sandiego? Yeah. Gumshoe.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what
He's
he
a
does.
hilarious man, is what
He's
I'm
really
trying to tell
funny.
you. Yes.
And I just want him to do great. I want all the Grand Crew. I want them all to do great because I miss seeing them on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll go rewatch that show. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
What did it get? 1 or 2 seasons?
It got 2 seasons.
They did a great job. It was just like fun, and it was like black people just enjoying themselves and not like it wasn't like a black.
It should have at
show.
least gotten 3 seasons.
It should have at least gotten 3 seasons. It was fun.
Yeah.
The Emmys came work on tonight, which
Mm-hmm.
I did not even know. I don't know what's going on with these shows. The VMAs was this week, and Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah,
was
I was gonna say, like, did you want to talk about it? But
I
we
didn't
already
even-
had a stacked list of things to talk about.
I didn't
so.
even know was happening until my Discord started putting pictures up.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like, what is going on with the marketing and the like?
Well, we're cord cutters, so
No,
like,
but even still,
or
like
cable cutters, whatever it's called.
they used to still have. I remember when you couldn't have one of these award shows without seeing it everywhere. It didn't matter if you had cable or not.
Well,
You
maybe
would
you're
see
just
billboards.
Maybe you're just not as plugged
on
in
the
as you used to be. Like, you're in your 30s now. Like,
Yeah, but I watch a lot of TV. And I watch TV and I
But
watch the news. I'm online.
you watch a lot of SVU. Is
That's not
what
the
you
only
watch.
thing that I'm watching.
It's-
Either way, I'm still online.
Star Trek Discovery.
I'm
That's
online watching, reading things, and I didn't see any mention of it.
But your online algorithm isn't entertainment.
Yes, it is.
It's
You're not on my online algorithm.
I see what your algorithm is based on the top stories that you want to talk about.
But I still see plenty of other things, and I didn't see anything about MTV having the VMAs. I didn't see anything about the Emmy Awards. So, I mean, good luck to everybody. I know Shogun has a lot of awards. Is nominated. The Bears nominated for a lot of awards.
Mm-hmm. What We Do in the Shadows has nominated for some awards as well.
Oh, good. So I'm looking forward to seeing who's winning. Hopefully Abbott Elementary wins. I still am confused as why The Bear is listed as a comedy, because I don't think that's a comedy at all.
It doesn't seem like it, but then again, I'm gonna hold my reservations because I have not seen The Bear. I've been meaning to watch it, and apparently this next season that's coming out is gonna be its last season. It's gonna be one of those short series,
Really?
which I appreciate. I appreciate when a series doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, I love that kind of shit. So, like, I will pick up The Bear pretty soon. Just I need time to like be able to focus on it.
Yeah. It looks like Lamorne Morris from The New Girl.
Oh, from
He won
Fargo.
for Fargo.
Yeah,
We haven't finished that
good
season.
for him. He won.
Yeah. Good for him. It's still
Oh,
going.
I
so-
guess Ayo Idabiri didn't pick up the win for The Bear.
No.
I don't even think she was nominated.
She wasn't nominated for The Bear. Liza Colon Zayas won for The Bear, and she's the first Latina to win for supporting actress, Emmy for supporting actress, and so good for her. So I'm curious at who's all gonna win. A lot of good shows are up. So we'll see. Last week with Tonight with John Oliver has won so far for
Of
scripted
course.
variety series.
Talk show, Daily Show.
Which, makes sense. Although I do really like the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And Late Night with Seth Meyers is good, too.
I really like Late Night with Seth Meyers.
Yeah. I have to watch Hacks because it's won a few Emmys.
Look,
tonight
this
as
just
well.
reminds me how far behind I am with all of my series that I used to watch. Like, I
Yeah.
used to, like, wake up and just binge watch, like, these series. But now that I'm getting to a certain age, like, I only really watch, like, comfort shows, that I've already seen
That's
before.
why I'm watching so much SVU.
There's something wrong if SVU is considered a comfort
It
show.
is. I already know what's going to happen.
Nothing more comfortable than seeing a bunch of essays and shit.
There's other storylines. Sometimes it's murder.
Yeah, it's a very specific
Kidnapping,
style of murder and specific style of kidnapping. It's very dark.
What?
You might be depressed. I think you might be mentally ill.
Yeah. You think? All right, let's talk about what's been making us mad this week.
All right.
Don't forget to switch the...
Yeah, of course. I am.
Can I have some more vodka?
Bring it! What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
So what's getting you big mad this week?
Well, before we get into the main things I want to talk about, the small thing I want to talk about is, good news is I've gotten my new meds, my Adderall, which is great. Hopefully, it'll be great. The bad news is my mouth is so fucking dry. And I know Adderall gives you dry mouth, but I feel like my mouth is like the Sahara Desert. The only good thing about it is I'm drinking a lot more water because my mouth is so dry.
Just drink more water.
No, my mouth is so dry. I don't like it. It's like if I don't have water, I feel like my mouth is sandpaper.
Yeah, that feels like a valid concern, but to be fair, you should be drinking more water anyway.
Yes, I know.
So this should be enough of an excuse to get you to drink more water.
It's just fucking annoying. Now, I sent you some videos to share. The first one was very disappointing. I don't know if you know the podcast. I think it's called Shits and Gigs. There's two black British guys. And apparently they were on a
with Andrew Schultz.
They were on a podcast with Andrew Schultz. How I got to this video was that they were on another podcast called Poor Minds, and they were saying that there's no baddies in Atlanta. And I'm like, that's weird. That's not true. And so then someone tweeted at Desir, I don't know how to pronounce it, but she said saying there's no baddies in Atlanta was just a way for him to say he doesn't like black women. Now, this was the clip of them talking with Andrew Schultz, who is already on shenanigans. But can you play that for me?
So you're Trini.
Yeah.
Oh. And the white side is what?
Irish.
Is Irish.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Oh, in today's climate, you're a colonizer right now.
Yeah, right? But it's really not fair because the Irish got fucked too.
Yeah.
You're double slaved.
Yeah, it's the one. I thought you had two that you wanted to play.
Insane. It does sound insane, but it is factually true.
Mathematically speaking,
give me taters. There's potato slaves.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. That shit's probably harder to pick than cotton if you think about it. So you're Trini.
Yeah. Okay. So there was that, and then there's the other one. I'll play.
So you're
no.
What is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about
glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend. All of a sudden, he's got buzz cut, clean shape up.
Glows up, bro.
I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard
because
there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective.
Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Who gets
That means what?
Hey, let me get a U.S. translation.
Kendrick fans, get them!
We love them all.
That's royal English.
What is the black girlfriend effect?
Well, this is the thing. Andrew Schultz is extremely annoying. I feel like he's constantly on, he had that podcast, Brilliant Idiots, with Charlemagne, which I used to listen to, but then I stopped because I just was like, I don't like podcasts where, regardless of whether it's comedy or not, But if you're having folks on there and you're not like allowing them to talk, you're not allowing them to like to explain whatever it is that you're curious about, and you just want to talk over them, I don't like that. So I've already been like, that's it. I'm not interested. I stopped listening to them a few years ago. But this just felt like, one, the potato slaves, like he was being very disrespectful to just black people in general. But then like it did look like the Shits and Gigs podcasters were a little uncomfortable by what he was saying, but they also didn't like check him. And I don't know, like when he's talking about like black women and the black girlfriend effect and all those, like the jokes he made to me were just not funny and just more showcasing his issue with black women that I feel like he's had for years, because he's never allowed them to, whenever people would say anything, he would just be like, oh no, I'm just gonna say whatever I want and fuck you if you have anything different to say, which is just unfortunate. And I don't want to be like a hater, but I just do not think that he's funny. And I'm pretty disappointed at the Shits and Gigs guys, because I really like their podcast. I feel like they're funny. Like it's like they have this little bromance that's cute. And I usually enjoy their stuff, but this just was disappointing. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then there are these two other things that came up this week that I saw. One was this black woman picking cotton. And the other one was a black woman who was standing by her man when he talks about how much he loves to say the N-word. Her white man, BTW. So you can play both those videos whenever you're...
Okay, we'll play the cotton one.
Hi, my name is Hannah Lee, and I'm a farmer. Come pick some cotton with me. Now, I know what you're thinking. What on earth is she picking cotton for? If you wanted me to be quirky, I'd say it's in my DNA. But the truth of the matter is, it's in my household. And as someone who loves a cotton stuffed mattress and a cotton stuffed pillow, and I'm getting low on both, I had to go harvest some cotton. But look at how gorgeous it is out here. You cannot tell me I wasn't born to pick cotton.
And then after that, you just go right into it.
Anyway, all jokes aside, I have actually come to love the cotton picking process. I love my little bulbs, and I cannot wait for them to produce more cotton. Look how cute they are. Now, the fire ants were getting on to me, so I had to go. But there's something to the process of getting home and de-seeding them and stripping the cotton down. That's just so calming. I have my 3 buckets, one for soapy water, one for the seeds, and one for my freshly picked cotton. And this process is so relaxing. I'm serious. My husband is so cute. He came and bought me coffee. We use freshly ground coffee beans for the farm, and let me tell you, it's the best coffee you will ever taste in your life. I love being a farmer. I think there's just something so incredible about getting back with nature. And speaking of nature, breastfeeding my child is going well. So props to all you moms who have breastfed.
Go into okay.
I say nigga all the time, and like if you don't like it, oh well. Like I say nigga. Like my close friends are black, and I say nigga all the time. Every time we go to a family meeting or something, I say nigga. We're playing fucking dice, no matter what the fuck. I say nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Well, clearly he has all the muscles in the world, and she is afraid to say anything. So
is that your...
That's what I'm hoping is the case.
I feel like with both of these situations, first of all, our ancestors are rolling in their graves.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, picking cotton is relaxing. Come on. First of all, there's
nothing relaxing about toiling in the field, period.
There's nothing. It doesn't matter what type of work you're doing on a farm. That shit is fucking hard. It's not relaxing. It's not fun. It's like
it's not an enjoyable task.
Which is why white people refused to do it themselves and stole people to make them do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand what's going on with, like, you're always having all these, like, interracial couple blogs. They always pop up, which is weird because you don't need to have a blog or Instagram or whatever just because you're in an interracial couple. Like, being interracial is not like I don't know, what is the word? Like, it's not, Alexa, stop. It's not like what is the word? New thing. It's not something that's unusual. It is a regular.
It's not unusual.
It's not unusual. It's a regular thing. But you see these couples who are so adamant about creating this like content about we're interracial, look at us, and then putting out videos like this. You either have on one side the freaking Amish, freaking black girl, whatever, Mormon or whatever she is, picking cotton while her husband brings her coffee. Ooh, why isn't he picking the cotton with you? If it's so relaxing, why aren't you doing it together?
Yeah, that's a good question because apparently all he's doing is giving her freshly ground coffee.
I'm sure the masses gave their bedwenches lots of coffee and tea.
Well, he's a bull. He's a buck, so he probably just needs to...
No, bucks were only for black men.
What'd you say?
Bucks were black men.
Yeah, he's a black man.
That's not a black man.
That wasn't a black man in that video?
That was a white man.
Really?
Yeah.
In the video of the cotton person?
Yeah.
You sure about that? It looked like he was a black man.
I did not see a black man. Do you want to rewatch that video real quick and confirm?
I don't think I think I still have it.
Look.
Oh yeah.
It's just a shadow.
Oh yeah, it was a shadow. Yeah, he looked like a light skinned. I thought it was a light skinned man.
No, he's just spicy white. If these were two black people picking cotton, I would probably feel a little bit different.
Oh, that makes this worse.
Yeah. Yes.
That he has his black girlfriend picking cotton?
Yes.
That makes this so much worse.
Well, he's inside making coffee. And then the other one, I mean, I don't even know if I have to even go into that. Like, there's never a reason for a white person, a non-black person, to say the N-word.
Yeah.
It is not needed. Go look into your history. I'm sure there's a slur there used for your people that you could bring back.
Yeah.
Reclaim it yourself.
Reclaim honky.
Reclaim.
We used to say honky so much in the 70s, and I think it's time to bring it back.
Bring it back. Reclaim cracker, Peckerwood,
Whitey.
all these names. Use one of them. You don't have to use ours. I don't understand
Triscuit.
what it is. Triscuit, a wheat thing.
Yeah.
A saltine.
I told you how I got in trouble because in high school I used to go up to all the white people with a box of Triscuits and just be like, Triscuit?
You did not tell me that.
Yeah.
Was this for the purposes of...
I would only do it to all the white people. Just offer them Triscuits by just being like, Triscuit?
Polly want a cracker? No, I just feel like black women, please do better. Like, just because a white man has welcomed you into his home, it does not mean that you need to make this race play content. I'm sure he probably does that enough in bed. We don't need to see it. Do that on your own time.
Yeah,
but don't show
do
it
that
to me.
away from all prying eyes.
Yeah, we don't need to see it.
Nobody needs to see it on social media.
What's making you mad?
I just wish that people would follow instructions. If you're given a deadline to submit some information, don't give it to me 2, 3, 4, 5 days afterwards, because that's just going to annoy the shit out of me. And I already can tell that this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, every time... I'm not going to get specific because I don't want to reveal information about my job, but just know I give a specific deadline, and a few people have given stuff after that deadline. And I replied back like, hey, I'll take this, but just know my deadline is solid. Like, when I give my deadline moving forward, I might not consider anything else after that deadline.
And listen,
That's
those
fair.
Are
That's the rules.
Consequences to not following directions.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's all you have to. You don't have to be worried about. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I give you the date. You don't listen to the date. You miss the dates for some reason. I will try to accommodate you. But if the things are already solidified, they're already solidified.
Also, big boss is coming down on subordinates, like when they're on their break. Maybe don't do that. Maybe calm the fuck down if you're trying to get a hold of your subordinate. Maybe just know that, like, hey, if it's between the hours of 8 and 9 o'clock, they want to go on break because you kept bothering them between 7 and 8. So they moved up their lunch to 8 to 9. And now somehow you figure that out, and that's when you want to bother them. Just find a way to not be awful. And that's everything that's making me mad.
All right. Now, what's making you happy this week?
Hold on, let me get the banner for that. Here you go.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I love your baby for you.
As always, doing this podcast with you. Shout out to my friend Danny.
Happy birthday!
It was her birthday, and she had a very fun karaoke thing. We kept getting shortchanged the karaoke because it was songs that nobody wanted to fucking hear. Nobody. Well, we got to do Drew Hill in full, but nobody wanted to hear Beyonce's Toxic. That's why they only gave us one verse. Britney Spears is Toxic. Beyonce's Toxic is something else. That's a whole nother song that could be played. I'm surprised that in your angry you didn't talk about Beyonce getting snubbed by the Country Music Awards.
Well.
But anyhow, and then what else happened? Just a fun and enlightening game night, I would say. Very, very enlightening. I always love family game nights, so that was cool. And yeah. How about you? What's making you happy?
Well, my baby came today. Shout out to you, Nydia, for giving me another little baby.
Another?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
It's your first one, but I have now another baby in my life.
Okay, you have another baby
Yeah.
in your life, not they have another baby.
No. It's her first baby, but it's another one of my babies. She was a warrior. After 26 hours of labor, she got that baby out. And shout out to you. Also, what's made me happy is Palestine has finally got a seat in the UN. It's long overdue. And hopefully this will mean we were able to move forward in creating a peace for the Palestinians moving forward. So, yeah, that was what made me happy this week.
Okay. Fantastic. If that's everything, then that's everything. I would like to thank everybody for watching and paying attention to the podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We're always looking to improve. So I would say take it easy, keep it sleazy, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD and on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.